You're watching Pyro Media Network.
Thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We hope your experience is fruitful. Please feel free to visit our website to find out how you can join our growing family. While we are loading your experience, please do us a quick favor and hit that like button from whichever platform you're watching or listening on. Also, share so others may enjoy as well. And we hope you would consider hitting that subscribe or follow button so you can check out more of our amazing content. All right, let's start the show.
I'm on a whole nother level. I'm on another level.
That music is such a vibe.
The whole intro. Yes. Oh.
I was sleepy. I'm awake now.
You know, the picture on the thumbnail for tonight's show put me in such a good mood. Well, tonight we're talking about parenting, for those of you who don't know. Parent do-overs. Sometimes as a parent, you wish you can go back and do it over. Seeing the baby boy in the picture reminded me of when my nephews were tiny babies and how much my sister used to want to beat me down because I felt like they wanted snacks and cookies. And I felt like they wanted to like have a good time. And she would be like, Walter, not a lot of sugar, not a lot of this. And I'd be like, yeah, okay. I got you.
Interfering.
Right? But child, and I was a discipline there, so I was strict, but I was gonna get them their snacks and their goodies. Like,
you about to get ate up like the Ghost and Pac-Man. Keep playing. No, sir.
To this day, they know I love my nieces and my nephews. I do. And so every now and then I want them to go back to before they could talk and have attitudes and opinions and, you know, stink even. But
that's exactly what I was thinking when they smelled better. Right. When you can control the stench.
All right, but welcome everybody. Welcome. Tonight we have an amazing show planned for you. We're talking about parental do-overs. Now, because of the sensitive nature of tonight's show, we didn't have a class or ask of the week. I went back and forth with a few ideas, but I didn't want to go there because we wanted to keep with the theme of parenting. And I didn't want to attack someone's parental style unless it was just obviously trash, okay?
We're not talking about you. We're talking about other people, not you.
Right. I didn't want to go against, come at anyone super hard. I just did not want to do that. But we're here. We're getting ready to have the conversation about parental do-overs. Manal, have you ever had a moment in your life as a parent that you really just wanted to do over? Like you wish you could go back and redo a moment? You feel like sharing?
Oh my gosh. So, and let me just say, like, at this stage of my life, I've learned that every part of it was necessary. I would
Okay.
not be who I am
Mhm.
without all of the mishaps. So, but there are some key things that I wish I absolutely could have done differently if I would have known better. And I think a couple of those things is one, I would have made sure that I brought protection that night. That's one of the biggest
Okay.
do-overs that would have happened. Here, put on this condom. I don't want to have a baby yet. And I think that that is the biggest parenting do-over because I had to realize that I became a parent before I became a mother, and so
Mhm.
that whole um, reality affected the way I mothered. And so, little things like make sure that you put them in a safe chair before you walk away. Like those things I had to
Mhm.
learn because I was a young
Yeah.
mama. He,
Yeah.
he fell a lot,
I don't like you.
and then we had to do, the observation. We had to go to the hospital. Nothing that serious. He wasn't leaking or nothing, but it
Mhm.
could have been detrimental. Things like
It
that.
could have been different,
Um,
but God said no.
Amen. He said, "I got this one. I'm his father.
Yay!
It's all
Lord.
right." And I would have played more. I
Mhm.
would have taken the time to enjoy the fun of
Mhm.
his stages. Um,
Yeah.
but I was so pressed on being in survival mode and so pressed
Mhm.
on trying to push him into independence because I wanted to get back to doing things for myself, whether it was school or work or whatever it was. Um, I didn't enjoy the small moments enough.
Yeah.
And I wish I could do that over
Yeah.
again. I also would have kept some people out of his life. You know,
Mhm.
I was that mama who was trying to date and be a mom with a young kid.
Got it.
Whew. So that's definitely a huge parenting do over I would have done.
If I could go back and do it over, so that is the one dichotomy, the one battle I have, because I would not trade my daughter for anything in the world. But I kind of wish I never met her mom. I,
You wanted the daughter without that specific pussy, is what it is.
right, right.
Got
So
it.
I don't know if that's the thing that can actually happen. But
Immaculate conception.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But one of the things I wish I didn't work so much.
Mm.
Especially now knowing that I wasn't going to be pastoring my whole life. I wish, I wish, I wish I didn't work so hard to get things going. And like you said, I wish I would have just enjoyed each stage of my daughter's life, you know. And speaking as someone who is older now, you just don't know. Life has all kinds of twists and turns. You don't know what tomorrow holds. And so if I could go back, I would definitely do things differently. I would be more present. I would be more vocal. In an effort not to crush my daughter's feelings, a lot of time I was a little more timid, you know. And if I could go
Mm.
back, I definitely would do things a little different. Cupcake
Mm.
says, "Child, I would have, I would have made kids with my version of." Wait, I would have made, I would have made kids with my version of Legion. Okay, but my kids are fantastic, so I thank him for that. Absolutely. Um, oh, I wouldn't
Amen.
have made it. Lord.
I
I hooked
wouldn't
on
have.
phonics.
Yeah, I was like, well,
I
okay.
hooked on phonics that. Um, um, Tamara says, I definitely would have communicated more with my son. Absolutely. Absolutely. And for me, I don't know about anybody else. I've had the pleasure of raising different sets of kids.
Mhm.
So if I wasn't gay now, some of my siblings would tell you I raised them, but now that I'm gay, you know, I'm the curse of life. But
Wait a minute, Walter, you're gay?
oh yeah, I forgot to tell you all. I forgot to tell
What?
everybody. There's something I have to tell everybody, and I've been hiding it for a while. And I know you can't tell by dealing with me, but yeah,
Yeah, I
I'm
can't
a
see your whole
homosexual.
outfit. I
I'm a
can't see your
homo.
whole outfit.
I'm a homosexual. I got on here trying to show some cleavage tonight, but but the church mother in me wouldn't let me go too low.
I love it.
No, but I was able to participate in raising my younger siblings. Then I got a set of my nieces and nephews that I was able to help raise, and then I was able to raise or participate to an extent in raising my daughter. And you learn something from each batch of children. All kids are different. All children are completely different, and they need a part of you.
Yeah.
There's a reason why they're there. They need a part of you. And wait, oh, I can't believe that you're gay. Yes, I'm one of the gays. I know.
I know for
Mhm.
me, like people always ask me, do I want another child? And I'm like, yeah, I want another one.
I do too, yeah.
And they're like, really? You already got one? He's older. And it's like, well, yeah, that's cool. But so am I now. I
Yeah.
want to experience having a
Yeah.
child being more settled in who I am as a person,
Mm-hmm.
more settled in life, so I can
Mm-hmm.
be more of the provider that my son did not have. And I
Right.
also want to have the opportunity to have another child within a loving relationship. Not that my son wasn't raised with love, but
Right.
he was loved through
Absolutely.
pain. He was loved through
Right.
pain. So I would like to have the opportunity to just love my child freely because I chose that child, I chose that life, and I chose motherhood at that time. And know what
Mm-hmm.
that is.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. My sister-in-law and my brother, after my nieces came. Oh, sorry. I'm not reading no more tonight. That's all you, Manal. I'm not doing it anymore tonight.
I mean, like you went for it with all the tenacity you had.
All right, I'm
Woo!
gonna sit here and sip on my Jack, and y'all, can you please read that comment?
I got you. Let me see. Go ahead, pull it back up.
Okay.
Okay, my sister-in-law told my brother after my niece came. That's all, folks. LOL. I got you. I got
Got it.
you.
Okay. That was hilarious. Now, there is something that I've also come to love, and that's Black parenting and Black culture. I
It's different.
oftentimes I have to have the conversation a lot of times that we get the current entertainment that is out and elevated and advertised. We're getting that confused with black culture. That is not Black culture.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. Hey, good evening, April. That is not Black culture. That is what
Hey.
they want people to think about us, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you know, in the Black home, you're going to hear some saying, and some of these things are not always the best. Some of these things are not always the best. Now I love my mama, but my mama has threatened to kill me. I love my mama, y'all, but my mama has threatened to kill me on at least 20 occasions growing up.
Ooh.
And I thought it was normal because my friends, their parents threaten their lives too. Like it's just something that they do. So I thought it would be fun if we did a rapid fire, right? Because you know, Manal has a really healthy way of looking at things, and I not so much. You know,
But you know what though, Walter? It's also
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like my parents, and I think that's a huge difference with my home and your home. My parents, they actually did try to behave like children of God, you know.
Really?
They
Huh.
did. Like they were
Huh.
really big on, trying to respect us as much as they could understand what that looked like.
Mm-hmm.
They did there wasn't language allowed in our house. We weren't allowed to fight each other. And like, be mean to each other, and our parents weren't mean to us. Like it just like that wasn't allowed in my home. They just didn't
Mm-hmm.
talk to us certain ways. It's not that we didn't get in trouble, but trouble came with procedures. Like they were my first ABA training. Like when your child does this, we're going to respond in this way. They get
Mm-hmm.
8 swats according to how old they are. Like it was very
Mm.
structured in my home, and my parents made sure that they were at least trying to be fair in dealing with us.
Right.
Now there's some things they didn't understand, because they were young, but I feel like they tried to be able to they tried to love us and even show us love in the
Mm-hmm.
hard parts of our lives as much as they understood. So there's so much black parenting stuff. It did not go down in my house. It did not.
So my mom loved us and she tried to communicate, but my mama would beat us until the Lord told her that was enough. My mama would literally whoop our ass until she quickened. She like, what? Thank you, Jesus. That's enough. Now go lay down, baby. Like,
I can't stand you.
My mama didn't. My mama didn't play. And my dad would just beat us. I'm gonna leave him. I gotta leave him out this conversation. Now, so we're gonna do a quick game of rapid fire. I'm gonna make a statement, and you're gonna tell us.
Reframing, Walter. It's called reframing.
You're gonna reframe that statement. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. So the first thing we have is a child does something, and parents say don't do that. The kid says why, and the parent says because I said so. What's the better way of phrasing it?
Walter, if a child does something and they're told not to do something, then the best recourse is to tell the child why. Tell them why. They need to be able. You are constructing a child that is able to reason and make good choices. You're raising an adult. You tell them why. You need to get off that couch. Why? Because you can end up falling and hurting yourself. You didn't pay for that couch. You're going to mess up my couch. And that's not that's not the functional use of a couch. You jump on the trampoline, not my couch. You tell them.
I don't have time to be explaining stuff to kids. I'm grown. I pay these bills. Do you hear me?
Ooh, but see, that's why your kid can't think and they 15. It's because you never helped them make the connection. They have no idea. They 35, they still can't make connection.
When they get grown, it's just gonna click because they grown.
That's why they boss giving them letters. They're not able to stay there because they don't know the why.
All right, next. So your child sees you take a drink of liquor. Your child takes a drink of liquor. You say, no, you can't do that. They said, I want to do it because you did it. And they say, you can't do what I do because I'm grown.
So, in this kind of situation, I would absolutely, again, explain to the kid, when you become an adult, and an adult is of 21, you are able to drink. You have to be this tall to ride this ride. That's why we have things like that in the world. You have to become this tall to ride this ride. You have to be 21 in order to drink. So I am 21 and older. You are not. You get this juice, and I'm going to get this liquor, and we're going to have a good night.
Okay. All right. Okay, well, your kid heard you cussing with your friends the other night, right? And they heard you talking grown, talking about how you put it down. And you overhear your kid talking to their friends and being fast, just like you, literally doing the same thing you did. But she's 12. And so you walk in the room and say, You ain't grown. Shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Anybody parents ever say this to them?
I mean, not my parents.
So my mama didn't cuss. Now, my mama didn't cuss. Now my dad, again, we're not gonna bring him up. But my mama ain't cuss. But she definitely told us we ain't grown and we need to shut up. But what's a better way to word this?
We did get the "you ain't grown" conversation,
Mm-hmm.
but it always came with a why. And so in this
Okay.
situation, if you hear your kid talking about something, you need to understand what's their motivation.
Okay.
Again, it's more conversation. Parenting is all about learning what your kid knows, what they don't know, what their reasonings are. You are raising an adult.
Mm-hmm.
So I would sit with that child and say, why are you saying those things?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think your friends think about you when they hear you say those things?
Mm-hmm.
How do you want to be seen? How do you want to be received? And if it comes back, well, mama, you said it. Well, you know what? I apologize because I should not have said those adult things in your earshot because I am grown and need to leave grown conversations with grown people.
No,
But as a kid, you do not need to be privy to these conversations. You don't need to be involved in these conversations, and you don't need to be having these conversations.
When my kid looks at me and say, "Daddy, you said it," I tell them our next one. Stay out of grown folk business. You need to stay out of grown folk business. What's your response to that? By the way,
challenge.
I'm gonna say now. I use this one. I use this one. You stay out of grown folk business. It ain't got nothing to do with you.
I know. But see, that's the thing is when grown folk have their business in front of kids.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
That child does not have the ability to turn off because you're an adult. They're going to be on all the time, taking in their environment. They're going to be on all the time, watching their first models of humans, which are their parents. And so it's unfair to assume that a kid is has a business of sorts. Their business is whatever's going on in their environment. And so if you don't want your child to be privy to things, you take care of adult business behind closed doors and you bring them kid things. You have kid conversations around them. If you sitting around the table with your girlfriends talking about what y'all did last night and your kids is walking up and through, they walking up and through, the room.
At home about 2:45.
Now, so it's your responsibility to keep grown folk business with grown folk. But if your child does happen to pick it up because you are running your mouth, then you need to again apologize for having grown folk business in front of your kid. And you need to tell them and teach them that's not appropriate. And you need to do better.
If I tell my kid to stay out of grown folk business and they say one more thing to me, I'm gonna look them in the eye and say, "Look, I ain't none of your mama." That's our next one. I ain't none of your mama. You better go on with that bush.
This sounds like auntie conversation.
Auntie said, Dad said, Grandma,
your teacher.
Anyone who think your mama lets you get away with too much,
your mama soft.
They gonna be like, I ain't none of your mama. I ain't laid down and enjoyed nothing to have you.
Walter, I have to be completely honest. I don't have a reframing for this one. I think this is important.
Right.
I think this one right here has to remain a staple. And here's why. Because it's called differentiation. Kids have to be able to learn who they can get away with stuff with and who they can't. They have to be able to respond differently to different types of people. So, a more appropriate way to say this, if we want to reframe it, would be, who am I? How do I treat you? then you need to treat me the same way I treat you. And hopefully it's appropriate because you're an adult. Hopefully you're modeling good behavior and you can say something like that to a kid.
Right, because if you say that and they bust you upside your head and start whooping your ass, then
Because
because that's what you do to them. Right.
But this one right here, nah, kids gotta know who to play with and who not to play with.
Okay.
And,
I like that. I like that. Our next one is I brought you in this world and I'll take you out. Now I've heard this one a lot of times.
This gotta be from God himself.
This is your mama. When you getting a little too wild and fresh with your mama, and your mama is like, oh no, we're not gonna have too much more of this.
Okay, so here's my thing. Here's my argument. A better way to say this is I brought you in this world and you are not meeting the expectation, right? I brought you in this world and there's more that you are capable of. Let me show you what that is, right? Because the other thing is that children are scientists and they're young and they're literal. And so if you're not going to actually take them out of this world, you just running your mouth. You are teaching an adult. You're teaching an adult. So sometimes we say things to get it off our chest because we mad, but you can't forget that you're teaching an adult.
So you telling them, I brought you in this world with an expectation.
Yeah.
And you're failing miserably.
You're failing. But ultimately,
right.
Because I didn't teach you something. I missed a lesson.
Courtney says, fuck that. I'm tired. That might not be what does FTK mean? Oh, fuck that kid. I'm tired. Okay. By the way, feel free to chime in the comment section if there's a Black statement that was said in your home that you feel needs to be reframed. The next one we got is a hard head makes for a soft ass.
Whew. Well, yeah, we didn't get this one either. So with this one, I think it's more about understanding that trouble is coming, right? If you continue behaving the way you're behaving, there will be consequences. Right? So it's more about direction. Stop what you're doing or do what I said, because the next step is a consequence.
This one is such a staple in the Black community. I've heard this one in church. I have heard this one in church. I remember the pastor was up preaching, and he was like, you heard what they said? A hard head makes for a salt. And the church mother said ass. I said, oh, okay. Shonda BBBO. Next we have, and I heard this one too. You ain't shit. Oh, wait, I didn't hear that. Ooh, I'll take that back. My mama didn't cuss. You ain't shit, just like your daddy.
Don't be lying on Eddie Mae.
Right, Eddie Mae will come in the comment section and read me and everybody connected to this show.
Signing off right now.
Right.
This right here, this cuts real deep in the spirit of a child.
It does.
It cuts real deep. We got to stop talking to our kids like this, because at the end of the day, didn't you give him the pussy? I'm confused. So if you are upset at the child that came from that situation, that's still a you problem. So quit taking it out on the kid.
I wish there has to be a healthy way at some point, and we're getting ready to go to commercial. There has to be a healthy way to voice your frustration or express your frustration with the father and not pollute, not taint the image that the child up, because even the child will see the father in themselves.
Absolutely.
And you don't want to taint that image. That's not the image you want to taint. But you
don't
also don't want to glorify the bullshit either.
Absolutely.
So and so I feel like
let's go to commercial and we'll pick up right here.
Okay, absolutely. Go ahead. Those of you who are watching, go ahead and support all of these businesses that you're about to see. Go ahead and take us away, Kwame.
Because self-care should be luxurious. Luxe Noir.
Hey pilots, did you know that you can now catch the electrifying sounds of Bullet in Flight Radio anywhere you go? Yes, you heard it right. Tune in to the high-flying beats and soaring melodies by downloading the TuneIn app on your mobile device. Just search for Bullet in Flight Radio and hit play. It's that easy. And if you have a smart device like Alexa or Google, just say, "Hey Google," or "Alexa, play Bullet in Flight Radio on TuneIn." Experience the rush of adrenaline wherever you are. Listen to Bullet in Flight Radio on TuneIn using your Alexa or Google devices. Soaring through the skies has never sounded this good. Don't miss out on the ultimate musical journey. Tune in now to Bullet in Flight Radio on TuneIn and let the music take you on an unforgettable ride. Get ready to elevate your listening experience. Brought to you by Bullet in Flight Radio.
Hallelujah.
I like that black of me. That was cute.
That was nice. Yeah, that was dope.
That
was
guy
actually
geek
dope.
shirt. I need that.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Now, before we
Hold
left, we
on,
were
wait.
talking.
I need Kwame to say Alexa Noir, like he says
Yeah,
in the commercial. I need that.
Luxe Noir.
I need to do with that.
Yeah, my God. Now,
Okay, back to business.
before we left, we were talking about maybe addressing some of the concerns that you have about your co-parent's behavior.
Right. Yes.
Without polluting the image that the child will see in the co-parent. And I think that in today's time, I think that can go both ways because
yes.
And I think in today's time we're prepared to have the conversation that sometimes mothers don't do all that they should, all that may be desired for them to do as well. You know, I think that shoe is worn by both genders. But how can we possibly address this, Manal? And how can what's a healthy way about that? What about that?
So, and this right here, this is deeply rooted, and I can absolutely say just from my own experience, I used to say like I don't like being the face of the bullshit, right?
Uh-huh.
Because when there is an absentee parent or there is when you're co-parenting in separate homes, so there's an element of absentee, and even if you parenting in the same home or y'all are still in a relationship, and there's some unhealed spaces in either one of you, it's really difficult to filter through that bullshit and then be able to offer something that is healthy. And I understand that. I do. So I feel like it's more about keeping in mind that who you are raising, you have the power to affect. And so even if there are some behavior, some similarities, there's some trigger points that rise, you are the authority in that situation to guide that child left or right. And life and death is in the power of your tongue. And so you are the person that gets to guide that child in that moment. And for me, when I had a moment or a situation come up, or I'm trying to get him ready. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm trying to get him ready. He don't want to get up. He don't want to do things. I got to get on this bus. I know I got to take like a 20-minute walk to get on the bus, and all the foolishness, right? It's in those moments when you really want to snap and you want to tell him about himself, even though he's 4 years old. Um, but in those moments, what I would do is, one, I would take a breath and I would acknowledge what I'm feeling. And right now I'm frustrated, I'm mad, and I want to just throw this child into another room and lock the door and run all the way away, right? That's what I would like to do. But at the end of the day, I had to remember that I am trying to get him to a place. And I need to teach him to control himself. I need to teach him not to have the same characteristics of the person that I procreated with. And so this is my opportunity to say, calm down, be quiet. I need to get us to this bus. I know you're tired, and we're going to work it out together. Let's count, because I need to calm down. You need to calm down. Let's count, right? And you start working on some skills that you need, so that way you can parent better in those situations, but also so that child learns how to be able to be more open to the healthier versions of life that may not be in the bloodstream, because that bloodstream is thick.
Right. And there's some things, I don't care how much you teach, it's gonna be there, because those are generational things that exist within the family. Absolutely.
And you've been to over for them.
You've been that ass
you
that
tooted.
You breathe.
You tooted for them.
Shake out hands on your knees. All right. All right. Now, we're actually here tonight. We're going to have a conversation. We're ready to get into the things of the things. So we had our rapid fire, which wasn't so rapid. It wasn't as rapid as I thought it was going to be.
No.
But we're getting ready to get into the things of the things. Parental or parenting do-overs. Again, I've made my share of mistakes as a parent. The thing is, in real life, you don't get a do-over. Just hopefully your child will have the grace with you to allow you to move forward from whatever mistakes you made,
Yeah.
It's understanding that they are human, they have feelings, they have boundaries, and within reason. Now, of course, you still have to parent them, but you have to respect those boundaries and those feelings, etc. So in real life, you may not be able to do it over, but you can change your approach to things as the child gets older. So we're gonna play a clip of video, and I just want to kind of get into the conversation they had, and maybe dig a little deeper tonight. Go ahead and play that clip for us, Kwame. Can you hear it?
No, there's no sound. Maybe let's restart it and see if there's sound. So what this is it's a conversation between the cast of tonight's conversations, which is really dope. Like they've taken this card game and they shifted it from it being about like love, sex, and relationships, and they have actually branched out to having just more expanded conversations about family and relationships and community, because understanding that you could talk about sex and love and relationships all day, but the foundation of those things is family. The foundation of those things is parenting, and the interactions between your home life and all those that live in that home with you. And so they are doing an amazing job of just having these larger conversations around love and
Right.
sex and relationships.
Right.
And so in this particular clip, we're listening to one of the ladies discuss her perspective of um going back to that keeping a child in a child's place.
Stay in the child's
And
place, right?
so her response to that whole idea is, how dare you as a parent try to tell a child where their place is, especially in situations where you are forcing them to grow up. You are having them
Mm-hmm.
go to work, you making them
Mm-hmm.
pay bills, you're making them take care of their younger siblings. You
Mm-hmm.
coming in, you talking to them like they your girlfriend or or your boy.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you get mad, when you get upset, when they do something that is irritating to you, or they start to now behave as though they are your friend, meaning they check you. You now want to give them a place that is outside of the adulting that you've been forcing them to do. And so her response was, that's unfair. That's unfair, that's unrealistic. And you
Right.
don't get to pick and choose moments of when you want to be the parent, the parental figure or authority in that home. You need to be consistent with your messaging. You cannot have them be the other parent when it is convenient for you, and then try to snatch that role or responsibility away from them when you are now ready to
When
assume
it's
that
convenient.
position because you mad.
Right. So production is letting us know that they actually have a video ready. One more
All right,
time.
let's go.
So we're gonna play the video one more time. Give it one more shot. All right.
All right, it's cool. If y'all want to
Yeah.
read subtitles, you can look this video up
Yeah, I don't see the
on
I don't
social
get I'm not
media.
getting the sound from the video.
You can look this video up. So, what are your thoughts, Walter, when you
I'm not getting the
hear?
sound from the video. So my initial thought from this, I feel like she has some good points, because her point is you pretty much force this kid to grow up. You force this kid to raise their siblings. You force them, like you said, to pay bills. You force them to become an invested part of
The household.
the household. But now, when it comes to something that they're not comfortable with, you now you're now withdrawing that. You're now withdrawing from them and telling them pretty much, you're my puppet.
Mm-hmm.
You only can act when I say you can act. This cuts deep for me, especially as one who participated in raising my younger siblings, then my nieces and nephews. You know, a lot of times the main parental figure will allow you to participate until it's something that you all disagree on.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be, get this, it doesn't have to be detrimental to the child. It can be something as much as,
Like, she used the example of what the young person was trying to wear out the house.
right.
Just an outfit.
Right, absolutely. Absolutely. I remember being told, now, if I'm going to be held responsible for this child passing their classes, and you're going to be fussing at me because I'm not helping them with their homework, and you're going to be fussing at me because I'm not making sure they get to bed on time, then I also need to be empowered to do what it takes to make them follow said rules, right? I need to be able to, okay, you can't play that game because this, you know.
Issue
Now,
consequences.
again, within reason, because I am a child. But if that's the responsibility you're going to put on me, you have to give me the tools necessary in order to act within the realm of what you're requiring. And I think a lot of times, especially in the Black household, it stems from church. Church wants all the professional work and don't want to pay you nothing. You know, they want all the professional work, but not your vision, what the pastor wants. And I was a pastor. I can say this with confidence, right? It's not your vision for the music department. It's your vision within the confines of what I have laid out. And a lot of times, okay, we're gonna try this video one more time. But what this does is it strips the kid, and it almost makes them feel like they don't have a voice.
Absolutely.
And what they're saying doesn't matter. And it also creates an element where they feel like they have to sneak. But go ahead, let's try one more time. I'm going to try to play the video one more time. Oh, Lord. Oh,
a lot of parents are hypocrites, right? It be the same parents who sit here and say, stay in the child's place. You can't ask me questions. But you're also the same parent who makes your child watch after their siblings.
Yep.
You make them tend to household responsibilities, cook for kids, take care of grandparents, give the grandparents their medicine, just depending on what type of household, if you have a transgenerational household, stuff like that. But you're also the same parent that say you have to stay in the child's place.
Yeah.
No.
I'm your
That child has, that child should be able to have a voice and speak as well, because you forced them to mature fastly.
Can I dig
You
a
made them
voice?
develop quickly. You made them become an adult in the household. You made them become a second parent in the household, and then you want to tell them what they can and cannot do. They can't ask you questions, but you put that on them. They didn't ask for that. They didn't ask to be your emotional cushion. They didn't ask to be your punching bag. They didn't ask to be a second parent. They didn't ask to be a caregiver. They didn't ask to be the person who's taking care of things. They didn't ask to help pay bills. They didn't ask to be at 16, 17 to go get a job and help pay bills and stuff like that. We really want to talk about it.
God forbid she wears some booty shorts, because then she's being fast.
Oh, okay.
You push me in the fast track.
I just love it. Her delivery is everything.
It was. Now, again, I'm not against teaching kids responsibility. That's not what I'm saying. Children definitely need responsibility, you know.
But what is a kid's responsibility, though? You know, and that's what we have to think about. A lot of times, especially in the Black home, we're raising kids still in survival mode, right? We're raising kids still mirroring that of the plantation, you know? And what I think is so hilarious, because I'm in the behavioral health world, is we are literally paying our counterparts to teach us how to be parents again, when we are the ones that taught them in the first place. And so
can you say that one more time? Hold on. I'll drink to that. Well, I will drink pretty much anything tonight, but I will drink to that. Can you say that one more time?
We are paying our counterparts to teach us how to be parents when we are the ones who initially taught them how to be parents. And so we're not even allowing our children to be children, because we're still raising them in survival mode. And I know for me, like, I needed my son to be more independent because I was a single parent. He had to learn how to use the stove at 5 because of my work schedule, my school schedule. Sir, I'm gonna need you to learn how to do something for yourself. You got to learn how to feed yourself. You got to learn how to clean your room. You got to learn how to get yourself dressed. And not because these are developmental milestones, but because I need you to take on more because I have too much. And so we have to be able to realize that we have to give our kids grace. As the Black community, a lot of our healing and do-overs with parenting is recognizing that we put too much weight and pressure on our kids because there's too much weight and pressure on us, right? And so we can't give our kids grace until we give ourselves grace. It has to be us first, right? And then that understanding of what is a child's responsibility. Their responsibility is to clean their room. Their responsibility is to help clean up the house. Their responsibility is to take care of school. How you teach them to be more responsible. You put them into a community organization so that way they can learn how it is, the expectations of working and labor and earning something and working in a team or a tribe of some sort, right? And holding them responsible to that personal development. It is not taking care of your bills.
If I could jump into this. So my sister's doing an amazing job with my nephew. Oh, I love the way she's raising him. I do. But he needed $100 for something, right? I hope you don't watch this. She had the $100, like she paid for it already. But just to teach him, and from a child's perspective, you have to work for.
You have to earn it.
She's gonna be pissed off if he watched this thing.
Hopefully not. Hopefully he
Right.
learned the lesson.
But she called us and she made him ask, could he come and help? Is there something he can help us with to whatever? And of course we know what the deal is because she got $100, you know, right?
Yeah.
So okay, cool, come over and we'll pay you this much. No, set a price. And she knows how we are. You're not gonna pay him $100 to come and wash your dishes because she knows how we are. We're like, get that boy that. But that's how you teach responsibility.
Absolutely.
Teaching them, you know, and then teaching them to budget. You know, it's not forcing them to be your pseudo parent or your pseudo husband. You know, you're the man of this house. But is he really?
No, absolutely not.
I don't know if he should occupy that spot, especially if he's only like 10 years old, like 10, 12 years old. Absolutely. And you're right, Dominic White. This conversation is necessary. It is necessary. And so if you see things differently, we're not shitting on the way you do things. We're just saying that there is a different perspective to be considered, right? Because you're shutting this child down after you put all of that weight on the child, you know, it's not preparing them for real life.
No, and really, you know, I work in a different community, right? And I see more kids at 13, 14, 15 prioritizing making money over finishing school because they want some shoes, or you know, they see their parents struggling and they want to help out, or you know, their parents are constantly going off about what they have to sacrifice in order to take care of them, and now they want to shoulder that burden on their own. And I know my son, and not that I ever put that weight on him, but he saw me struggling, he saw me trying, he saw me you know, making sacrifices. He was observant in that way. And he was like, I don't want to play football no more, Mama. I got to go get a job because I got to help us get a house. And I had to tell him, sir, your job is to make grades. My job is to get us a house. And however long that takes me to do it, it takes me to do it, you know? But what you can do is you can learn how to stay in school, how to start some businesses for yourself. You can learn how to monetize your skills. You can develop new skills. So that way, when it is your time to start a family, you can do it better than me. And that's where the teaching comes in at, right? But I will never make you responsible for my bills. And I'm not going to let you throw away your dreams as a kid. I'm not going to let you be a doughboy just so you can bring money into this house. You know? And so, so we have to consider now the things that the weights that we put on our kids and how now they breathe that in and start making choices. And if you give your child an adult responsibility and now you don't like the way they adult as a kid, you first have to take inventory of yourself. Because they're not supposed to be adulting. They're supposed to be kids. I want to see kids playing with toys. I want to see kids committing to school. I want to see kids searching out community opportunities so they can be a part of their surrounding communities in healthy ways. I don't want to see them having to take care of their kids. Having to take care of their siblings full time. And I'm understanding that a lot of us are in those situations. We were latchkey kids. You know, my parents were split in two different directions, and my older sisters had to look after us. We lived that way. But I know how my older sisters felt. I know how I felt when they left the house. Because now I'm like, who's gonna take care of us now? You know, like,
If I could
in the house.
If I could interject there, like also like I feel like, and we gotta wrap things up here. We're gonna have to go into this. We're gonna have to go deeper in Walt-based seduction. Those of you who don't know, we also have an after show, the Walt-based seduction, which is available in Patreon. Follow Pyro Media Network so you can find out more about how to subscribe. But I'm speaking from experience. I have definitely I was considered the quote unquote man of the house. And looking back, I missed out on so much of my life.
Yeah.
Being the father for kids who were not mine,
Yeah.
being the father and sacrificing my dreams. And it creates a awkwardness because sometimes I look at my younger siblings and I'm like,
Hey, no.
I wish
they
I
get
had
to live.
right. I wish I
Yeah.
had the opportunity to do what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
And you fucking, if I had that chance, you fucking
Yeah.
it up. Like
Right.
when I was your age, I was dropping kids off at school and
Yeah.
but ooh, girl. But absolutely. So real quick, real brief. What is one thing that you would say to a parent who made some mistakes? They made some mistakes and they want to do over. We know do-overs are not realistic, but what are some words of comfort you can offer them real quick?
Well, number one is therapy. You need to go to therapy. You got to work through your shit, and it's nobody
Right.
else's responsibility but yours. So
Right.
find a really good therapist so you can start working through your shit.
Mm-hmm.
But what I would say to that parent is we all have to grow up.
Mm-hmm.
We all have to grow up. We all have the capacity to do and be the same. So no one is perfect, but we all have the opportunity to be made perfect.
Right.
But we have to be honest with ourselves.
Right. I want to encourage the kid who may have had the parent who wants to do over. Find some place in your heart to forgive them. Forgiveness does not mean that you let them occupy the same space all the time. But forgiveness does mean that you will allow them to receive love from you on some level. Well, that's all we have for you. And how can the people follow you on social media and give you some money if they want to bless you?
Well, you can find me under Myzz Bay Windows on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And my Cash App is $ Myzz Bay Windows. I mean, Myzz Bay Windows. It's in there.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Kwame. It's Bay Windows. Thank you.
Absolutely. And if you want to follow me on any social media, you can follow me at Walt B Connection. And that's on all social media, TikTok, all of them. It's also my Cash App. That's also my Cash App. So you can just copy paste it everywhere and then copy paste it with the $ in front of it in the Cash App and put the @ in the Venmo. All right. We do want to thank you all for tuning in. For those of you who are a member of Patreon, we will be in there loud, live, and in the living color tomorrow night for our after show. We will continue parts of this episode and go a little bit deeper and maybe offer some of our own experiences. But until then, we want to thank you for your support, and we love each of you. Mwah, mwah.
Thank you for watching Pyro Media Network. For more information, please visit pyromedianetwork.com.